Ron Harris here for MuscularDevelopment.com along with Big Mike Cox. That is his real name, by the way. It's Mike Cox. He throws the big in there because, as you can see, he's big. Wrapping up day one coverage of the Tampa Pro, brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. So today we had the judging and finals for half the divisions. The following divisions we went through today, we went through figure, which also had over 40. Men's physique, also featured over 40. Classic physique, same thing. And 212, which is the way we ended up tonight, which a lot of people are really just hanging on for that. So figure, top three was the following. We had Nicole Graham, Martina Yabikova, and Lahana Robinson. I think we both called top two earlier in the day. Did you have a feeling Nicole was going to walk away with this?
Nicole has beautiful shape. She's kind of in that like Cindy Gillen type mold. So she wasn't crazy hard, not as hard as Marta was. Yeah. Marta had a lot more conditioning, a lot more crispness. But Nicole had just that beautiful, elegant shape, presented herself very well. Skin color was great, suit color was great. She really stood out. So it's kind of, like I said earlier, they got to pick your poison. You want a harder girl, or you want a girl that's a little bit softer and shapelier. So they went with the shapelier girl, Nicole, today. Interesting to see in 6 weeks at the O if she hardens up a little bit and how she stands up. The next kid's Jessica Padilla, Cindy Gillen. So
it seems like the Olympia goes more for condition. Well, they want everything. They want everything at the Olympia. They want shape, everything, condition. Well, you got to be the best of the very best. So I guess we'll see how Nicole does, because who's the reigning champ for figure right now?
Cindy Gillen.
Cindy Gillen. She's no slouch. She's pretty damn good.
Very good.
She gave me a couple of her cookies backstage. Remember, Hector, at the Arnold? Yeah. So she got points right there from me. Men's physique, 41 guys. Good Lord.
Wow.
You know, I don't want to say they all look good, but they all look pretty good. You know, these guys, it's almost like clones, and I don't say that in a bad way, but big cap delts, wide lats, tiny little waist. There's not a gut in sight. We were both knocking the lack of calves, calf allergies. Some of these guys, if your calves are sticking out of your board charts, I would do what you can to get bigger calves, because these upper bodies are just phenomenal. Like I said, it's the beach body that everybody wishes they had, you know, outside of the people who want to look like Big Ramy. They'd rather look like these guys. But Carl, you know, he stood out. He was in the middle, the judging. There was a couple other guys I thought, the ones on either side of him, I thought were right there. But did you have him probably picked out?
It's so hard to tell with these guys. Listen, we give them grief. But these guys are put together, man. Like, the condition's phenomenal. Carl looked phenomenal. Again, going to the O, though, that's a whole different ballgame. So these guys have to either, you know, make some adjustments, because, you know, you're going to get the best of the best. But Carl looked phenomenal. More props to him. I do love the dude. I don't know his name. Pink shorts with the, like, sparkles. That was my dude. I want to find his name out. I'm a huge fan. Actually, it's entertaining in a way, like the movements and stuff. Yeah. It kept me entertained for a little while,
because they're just standing there. They got to do something.
Yes, they got to
break it up,
yeah.
And they did. Okay, moving on to classic physique, which is something a lot of you guys are interested in. Logan Franklin was a big talk going into this, because he was moving up from men's physique, which he won this show last physique as a men's physique competitor. This was his debut as a classic physique competitor. He looked really good. I mean, he's on the cover of MD, so, you know, 10 extra points from me for that. But he's not quite there as far as he needs a little more of everything, a little more size, a little condition, but he's got a great look. I think Logan's he's gonna do very well in this division.
If he keeps filling out gradually, he's gonna be successful. He's got the frame for it. He's a tall kid, man. Yeah. And he's got a lot of room to improve. So I'm not sure what he weighed, but if he keeps growing, he's gonna do well. These guys have a lot of muscle. You know, and the guys ahead of him, and they got fourth place guy as well, had a decent amount of muscle. He's just up against bigger guys. It's hard going from, you know, men's physique to classic in a few months. Yeah. That's a year-long process. So props to him for coming top three. Is no joke.
This is August. He was in the Arnold Classic in March as a men's physique competitor.
Yeah. So that's not a lot of time to improve and gain muscle. Again, online, the look was a little bit different than what we saw today. So it kind of skews people's opinion sometimes, that, you know, what you see in the hotel light or that's filtered isn't what translates on stage. But props to him, man. He showed up and looked good. Top three.
Yeah. And second place, Ricky Moten. I actually had Ricky winning. I like this guy's physique a lot. He's got these crazy quads, little waist, flaring lats, cap delts. You know, he kind of reminds me of like a smaller William Bonac, but with a better structure. You know, with better proportions for the bones and everything. I had Ricky winning. I thought he looked phenomenal. What'd you think about Ricky today?
Ricky was my dude, man. Ricky looked phenomenal. He stood out. His quads were crazy looking. You said small waist, that front lat spread. He just exploded in that front lat spread. Condition. A lot of these guys weren't 100%. Again, going to the O when you got like Bumstead, you got Breon,
George Peterson,
George Peterson. These guys have to take their conditioning to another level. This ain't no joke, man. So but for here, they were good. And like I said, I started off not a huge fan of Classic, but these guys, man, they're very impressive. They look phenomenal, and more props to them.
So here's a guy I hate to admit this because I should know every single of the 10,000 pros that there are, right? But Abner Logan, until today, if you had said the name to me, I'd be like, who's that? So Abner Logan walked away with this title today. Taller guy, wide shoulders, little waist. I heard some knocks that he's like too bodybuilder looking, not as classic a look. But you know what? There's a lot of different looks for classic. There's no one standard look for classic physique. You know, men's physique seems to be more like that, where they're looking for a very specific look. Abner had a great look. It was a little bit more maybe on the bodybuilding side, but shape, proportions, tiny joints on him. You know, he's somebody. Did you know who this guy was before today?
Goon let me know ahead of time to look out for Abner. And so I was looking for, I didn't see him in the prejudging. I didn't really pay attention, but after the prejudging, he texted me. So I was looking for him, and there he is. He looked good, man. Again, he is kind of bodybuilderish, but a lot of guys in this class are.
I believe, is he coached by Justin?
I believe so.
So that was the knock that I always gave George Peterson. He's a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But you know what? As time went by and I saw him more and more, I'm like, that's another look. It's just a different classic look.
This is what this class is. The name classic, we know a classic physique when we see one. Barry DeMay, Lee Labrada, Sean Ray. Yeah. But you got to judge what's in front of you. Everybody isn't going to be classic looking.
And it's 2019, guys. It's not 1983.
No. So you judge what's in front of you. These guys they fit the height class, they fit the weight restrictions. So they look good. I can't knock Abner. I think it was his first win. Yeah. So going to the O, you know, that's not a bad weekend.
Yeah, it was a stat. Was it 30 guys, something like 31? I mean, you don't beat 31 guys without being pretty damn good. Okay, let's move on to the final division that we had today was 212 bodybuilding. Here's a guy I had never heard of this guy because I don't follow everyone like I should probably. I don't study them, but I should. But now I know who fourth place Austin Carr is. Quads on this guy, my God. Quads all day long on him. Maybe too much. I think he probably now needs either downsize him a little, which he's not going to do, or balance out the upper body. But phenomenal physique, but I would say maybe a little bottom heavy.
Yeah. He is bottom heavy. Needs a little bit more bigger back. Yeah. But this kid was phenomenal, man. Like, he was hard. The quads, I don't want to say distracting, but that's what you see. Yeah. His ab thigh and his most muscular were just lights out crazy. If his back was a little bit bigger and a little bit denser, he would have maybe been fighting, guy for third place. But I was very impressed with this guy. He was phenomenal on debut. I don't even know if this is his pro debut. I've never heard of him. I'm not sure. Like, again, I don't know.
I've never heard of him, so maybe
me neither. These guys, there's so many now that we can't really follow.
In the YouTube comments, they're going to correct me. Don't worry.
They will. Yes.
You dumb shit. Don't you know where he turned pro? How could you not know that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's not 1985 anymore. We don't. There's too many pro guys.
A lot of pros.
A lot of pros, man. But Austin held his own, man. Like, he wasn't outclassed. He belonged. And again, you got someone like Guy Cisternino on stage, that top tier pro. Right. Arnold Classic placing. Top Olympic competitor. Austin held his own.
I mean, guys won at least a half a dozen shows that I know of, maybe more.
Yeah, so look, I think for Austin going forward, maybe take some time off, come back here in a year, improve. The judges will see your improvements, may be rewarded.
Yeah. So third place was Guy Cisternino. This is 2 shows in a row, I believe. Was he in Vancouver, though? I don't know.
I think it's Chicago, right?
He was third in Chicago, so, like I said, he's very good. He should be winning these shows. I've seen him better, and I'm not saying he looked really good. It's just once you get used to a certain standard from any competitor, you always expect him to always look at least that good, if not better, which is it's unrealistic because it's a human body and people age, people get injuries. It's the body changes over time, so you're never going to look exactly the same ever at 2 shows. It's impossible. That being said, guy looked pretty good. He brought the condition. He was big and full. He wasn't. I've seen him a couple shows recently where he was really flat. He fixed that issue, but I don't know what he needs to do to get back into that winner's circle like he has been so many times before.
I think, though, he was injured, so it may take maybe another year before he gets back to guy.
Yeah, let's throw that out there. I believe it was just last year he had both shoulders operated on. He was out of commission, couldn't train upper body for a few months. I mean, that's no joke. If any of you have had shoulder surgery, that sets you back. So this season is his first season back, and with that in perspective, props to you guys.
Yeah, he looked phenomenal. He was bigger. I didn't realize how big guy really was. When you see him in clothes, you can't get a true estimation how he looks. On stage, I'm like, this is a big dude, and his ham drops there. But again, when you set the standard for yourself a little bit higher, the judges remember that old look, which isn't fair. Yeah. You can't, judge by how you used to look. But Guy has a certain standard of condition that we're used to. He was this close. Unfortunately, this is the last qualifier before the Olympia. I'm not sure what his plans are, but
he might have enough points. I'm not sure.
If he does, I'd say keep dieting and do the show. Just keep dieting. But he looked phenomenal. I was very impressed with Guy.
Zane Watson was a big favorite because he's just coming off a win in Vancouver a week or two ago. What was Vancouver? Last week or the week before? 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, Hector was there. He knows. So Zane, strong year for Zane. He came in. This is the best combination of fullness because I've seen him come in a little flat, or I've seen him. The condition was just a touch off at times, but usually he's bang on. Condition is usually one of his strong points. Posing, my God, one of the best posers in the game today. He's one of the only guys if you know he's coming on, you don't go take a bathroom break. No. You watch because this guy puts it together. He knows how to pose. Physique-wise, the only thing I want to see on him is a thicker back. No diss on John Jewett, who won the show, but if Zane had a thicker back, I think he would have won. I don't know what he needs to do. Do some barbell rolls, do some people always throw that stupid shit out there. I don't know what he needs to do to get a thicker back, but he needs a thicker back to move up to where I feel he should be in this 212 division. I mean, he should be top 5 at the Olympia every year, no doubt. He's that good. Thoughts on Zane Watson?
Freak, man. He's a total freak. Crazy condition. He's a taller guy, though. So
I want to say he's like 5'8".
I think he's about 5'8". So when you're competing against guys that are that much shorter, you can look a little stringy. But dude, this guy, the way he presents his body, this is what I call posing, like they said back in the day. But he knows how to present himself so well. When he's on stage, you just stand up and take notice. Like you said, if his back was a little bit thicker, a little denser, he would have been pushing John for the title. Going into the O. Listen, that top 5 is going to be absolutely loaded and stacked. Yeah. He can play, maybe 6th to 10th would be a good showing for him. But conditioning is what you remember when you go to shows. Zane brings the conditioning every single time. He's never off. No. You know what I mean? He's been dieting for a while.
When I said that when I've seen him a little bit off, I'm talking about off the best I've seen him. It's like Dexter.
Yes.
Dexter's always, even when he's more shredded than everybody else, somebody will say, well, he was better at the Masters Olympia that year. He was more ripped.
2011.
When you set a standard like that, that's what everyone's going to remember, and they're going to hold you to that for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
Moving on to the winner, John Jewett from Texas. He's coming on strong, this guy. He was 3rd place in Chicago a month ago. He's really just getting started. We just did an interview. Watch that on our YouTube channel or muscledevelopment.com. This is a guy that turned pro as a heavyweight who had been a middleweight the year before. He's a prep coach, smart guy, humble guy, family man. Actually, no, he's only got dogs. He doesn't have any kids. I take that back. But still, very impressed with him. Very complete. It was one of those shows where when we saw the call-outs, it wasn't, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think it's going to be him or him? It was pretty clear in our minds as people who've been to many, many shows like this, he was going to win, and he did. I mean, you saw him winning from the first call-out, right?
He had straight first. I guarantee he had straight first. He was a clear winner. He's got a good structure on him, man. And he when you see him, he's a big dude. He's a former powerlifter. So he has that kind of dense look that powerlifters have that come into bodybuilding. He's a humble guy, man. Super nice guy. Chatted with him backstage. Trains to win. He's going to Olympia to win. everybody does that, but I was very impressed with him. Better than Chicago. Tighter. He was he's still full. He said he didn't cut his water, didn't cut his salt, just ate a few extra carbs, no kind of voodoo crazy last minute prep stuff.
Which backfires 95% of the time.
Salt loading, just whatever. But he looked good. You're happy for him because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, props to him. He brought the condition from 3 weeks ago. Clear winner.
Yeah. So we have half of the pro show over with. There's 302 pros competing this week. 302. Did you catch that? That's not a typo. So we have tomorrow, it's going to be women's bodybuilding, bikini, women's physique, and open bodybuilding, what fitness? Did I forget fitness? Because I thought it would be 4 and 4. It's actually 4 today and 5 divisions tomorrow. Okay, fitness, my bad. So Muscle Vodka's falling apart over there. So Muscle Vodka, everybody. We're Untitled sponsor. I love me some Muscle Vodka. So tomorrow's the big show. We're looking at Dexter Jackson making his 29th pro win. I've been corrected many times that I had him winning one more show than he actually won. So yeah, he's going for 29 wins tomorrow. Luke Sando from the UK looking phenomenal.
Huge.
Who else is the favorite for this one? Lucas Oslado.
Charles Griffin.
Charles Griffin looked phenomenal in Chicago. It's going to be an awesome. So that's going to be tomorrow, East Coast time. Judging kicks off at 11. Finals are going to be at 4 p.m. We got the play-by-play on musculardevelopment.com on the ND No Bull forums. Myself and Mike Cox are handling that. We got all the photography done by Hector Mendoza behind the camera here. He's pulling double duty with stills and video. What else we got? We got interviews, all kinds of stuff. So go to musculardevelopment.com, or if you're on our YouTube page, just look for new videos being added. It's going to be a good time. So day 1, Tampa Pro, that is a wrap for Muscular Development. Coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. See you tomorrow.